Do you know?
I know a lot.
I know you do. You know, there used to be a little card. This is honest, good as truth. Up in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, there is one near Newmarket, Virginia. Chicken in the Rough. Could give them a free plug here, and they still, you know, shoestring potatoes and the whole thing, a little thing of onion. But they have this little card on every table, and it has this little bitty chicken on there, and it's one of those little balloons out from its mouth that says, "I'd gladly be eaten for chicken in the rough." That's what it says. I'm not making that up.
That's
it's true.
Not particularly funny at all.
It's not particularly funny. I think it's rather sad.
Anyway, listen.
Do you know where it originated?
Where?
Oklahoma. I met the man. I was sitting in the one in Oklahoma.
Now, wait a minute.
Oklahoma City.
I know you've never been in Oklahoma.
And I was sitting in his restaurant.
Singing, Oklahoma.
I was sitting in there licking chicken grease off my fingers, and the man that started the whole thing came by and said hi to me and sat down and talked to me. It's honest goodness truth. I've been around.
Why would he sit down and talk to you?
I don't know. Hey, there's a leak in here.
What?
Have you seen? There's a leak in here somewhere. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
God. We've got leaks today.
Wait a minute. I'm Larry Bly, and this is Laban Johnson, and this is Cookin Cheap. And it's good to see all of you again. We may never pass this way again. I hope. Anyway, what are we doing?
Well, we're introducing new exciting products on TV today. We've given everybody else a plug. We may as well give the Chop-O-Matic a plug.
A Popeel product.
It's a Popeel product.
This is a classic one. This is a really...
This one was given to us by one of our faithful viewers in TV Land. And he says, I've seen you all, you know, making your way through these onions, and thought maybe you would enjoy having the Chop-O-Matic.
Well, I'm going to use it in a little while because they got to chop up some onions and fry on them. But before I do that, I'm going to show...
What are you making, by the way?
I'm doing chicken in buttermilk with curry. And it's a real healthy thing.
Another curry product from Laban Johnson, I can't tell you.
Oh, come on, Bly.
But anyway...
And that little girl's not within 2 miles of this place.
I know she's still out back.
But anyway...
She's in the cardiac care department.
Some of you know that...
I'm making tomato soup. You didn't ask me. I'm making tomato
Well, anybody can open a can up and make...
No,
good grief, that's the easiest thing in the world.
You know, I saw this on a menu the other day. Homemade. Homemade. H-O-M-A-D-E, soup. And that's what this is. I have taken...
I wouldn't touch that one with a fork.
I've taken 2 pounds worth of tomatoes. Can I just tell them how I started this?
Well, I was talking, but go ahead. I don't care. Go ahead.
I hate to be rude, but...
Well, I mean, you were. I mean, you'll sit around twiddle your thumbs for the next 20 minutes.
Okay,
go ahead.
No, you go on ahead.
No, it's go ahead.
I'm just going to step back.
I don't care. Just go right ahead. See if I care. I don't really care at all.
No.
Kermit and I can talk over here, right, Kermit?
All right, I will. All right, I will. What I've done is taken 2 pounds of tomatoes because once I get this out of the way, the rest of the show is yours.
Oh, all right.
I promise. I won't say another word after this. We're taking your basic tomato, 2 pounds of them,
and we'll give you a scalp treatment.
And the first thing we do, old bowl head, is we cut the tomato. Where are we, gang? Here. We cut the tomato like this, crosswise, and follow the little hand. And we're going to squish it like so and get all the seeds and stuff out. Now, you don't want to get rid of all the pulp. Back to that shot again. Hi, boys and girls. This is Mr. Tomato. But anyway, you got to do that. 2 pounds worth of them. Now, this is a wonderful recipe for in the summertime because you got tons of fresh red tomatoes. I had to go out and buy them at this time of the year.
Where did you get tomatoes that red?
They're not so
good. Do those tomatoes have blush on them?
No, they do not have red dye number 2. These I got just at the supermarket, and they had really some fairly good ones.
Reminds me of a shade of lipstick Miss Pam used to wear.
And what you do, is you throw these into a pan with a little bit of non-salted butter. We're watching our salt on this show. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes and a couple of other things to watch it too. And throw it in there, all 2 pounds of them, and boil them up real nice with the leek. Now let me show you the leek. This is the leek. All right, this is a leek. And what we did is we cut the ends off of it, and then we slice it all up. Make sure you wash it real good.
Because it's got dirt in it. It's nasty.
Real bad dirt in there. And as you can see, I've cleaned that one real good.
Show everybody out there in TV land.
Well, here's what you got.
They just full of dirt.
Here's what you got to be careful of.
See, look at that.
See that?
Filth and corruption down in there, and it's gritty, and tastes bad going down your throat.
That's right. So anyway, take those and clean those up, and just take a knife to them and throw them in there, and you're going to boil that stuff down for 20 minutes.
Go ahead, throw them in.
I don't want to ruin what I've got in there already.
Well,
just stop telling me what to do. I know what I'm doing. I don't need his help. Now, once you've done that, you'll boil it for 20 minutes, very slowly. And now, it's the Laban Johnson Show.
Thank you, Larry. I thought he'd never leave.
But you know, Laban.
Yes, I do know, and you don't. No, I'm going to do a healthy recipe because, you know, a few months ago I had a heart bypass, and I want to keep living for a good while longer after spending all that money on it.
For months.
Right. So I'm concerned with whether or not the food we eat is healthy as well as inexpensive. Larry could have made that with margarine, corn oil margarine, and it would have been just as good because that butter is loaded with cholesterol. Now, it's okay if you don't have heart trouble, but if you've got heart trouble in your family, you might want to stay away from that butter and use that
By the way,
corn oil margarine.
There's a product which Consumer Reports has rated very highly.
Oh, really? What is it?
From, I forget the name of the company that makes it, Land O'Lakes. And what it is it's a combination of butter and margarine.
Yeah, it's real tasty.
Very, not terribly inexpensive, but very good.
But anyway, I've got
people that like the taste of butter, but to use margarine.
It's called Early Morning or something.
I believe something like that.
Anyway, you want to cut all of the skin off of it and the fat, and it's real easy to do because the skin, these are little breasty pieces, and just put your thumb down.
Beg your pardon?
Breasties.
Oh.
And you just put your thumb down under the skin and pull, and it comes right off. And then you can cut off most of the fat with it when you cut it off up here on the top part. And then you can take this out back.
What are you going to do with all that skin?
What?
What are you going to do with all that excess skin?
Oh, I thought I might heal up your face.
Last time he wore it home. All right.
Anyway.
Excuse me, I'm just seeing what all I'm supposed to do here with the recipe.
Woo, these breasts are cold.
Isn't this deja vu?
What?
Doesn't it feel to you like we've done this before?
Uh-huh. It does. And I heard some of them in the back say felt like they'd done it before, too. Hope this time. No.
Well, when you reach a dull point in your life, would you let me know?
Mine is dull right now, so go ahead
okay.
while I'm cutting off this fat.
All right, well, what I had to do is I had to start this a little bit earlier because it had to boil for now on to 20 minutes. And now I have done that, and if I can find me a good spoon here with which to dip it. Well, it's all right. What we'll do now is you're supposed to have a food mill, and I have not been able to find one. I haven't been able to borrow one or anything, but the best thing to do is to have a food mill to throw all this into. Because what you want to do is you want to get the juice and the pulp from the leeks and the tomatoes. But I am going to have to do it the long, hard way. I'm just going to kind of squish it through a sieve. You said it wasn't even a sieve.
Oh! Woo! I'm going to have frostbite of the fingers.
Now, sometimes when you're doing this, there's a lot of noise in the kitchen.
This chicken was cold, and it just froze, and my hands are just ruined. Oh, they're terrible. They are just fine.
I've never heard such hysteria in the kitchen in all my years.
Well, I'll be the first one to go to the hospital. I'll be going in Lewis Gale with frozen fingers.
Now, nobody knows what Lewis Gale is in Tennessee.
It's a hospital.
They've never heard tell of it. They
ought to.
Anyway, I'm going to continue working this pulp down through there. As I say, a food mill is ideal. We can't afford one around here, but we'll get one at the flea market one of these days. I saw one some time ago, but it was missing the little thing that makes it go wrong. So it wasn't much good.
Now I can't wipe my fingers because I don't have any paper towels. You can't find anything around this place.
There are no paper towels.
Wait, here, son.
The show has been broke for several weeks. Oh, this is looking nice. As soon as we get finished getting all of this pulp out of it.
Now, Larry, I've got some cloves of garlic. Oh, I've dropped part of the chop-o-matic.
The best part, too.
The part that works.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, let's see if I can get it. All right, now let's put it back. Now.
Come in.
And there it is, all chopped up. Look at that. Didn't that do a nice job?
You know, you did right good. You're almost as good as that man that used to perform those duties on television.
I put it in the wrong
advertise
place.
those things.
That was supposed to go in the chicken, and I forgot to put it over here, this pan, but that's all
I'm
right.
glad to see that I'm not the only one
It's going to go in there eventually.
hadn't done
Now,
anything
I'm
I
going to
supposed
put some
to do.
pepper in here, and I'm not going to use any salt. I'm just going to use pepper. Bly doesn't know anything about pepper. And now I'm going to pour some buttermilk, about a cup of buttermilk over this, and this should marinate for 2 hours or overnight.
Or as one of my friends says, marinate.
And the marinade.
That's
But the
marinate.
buttermilk is good for you, and it's okay. You can safely drink it. And so this has got several cloves of garlic minced, and a cup of buttermilk and some pepper. And now I'm going to peel these onions. We're going to chop these up, and we're going to fry them.
You know, I've done much better this time around than I did the first time I tried this recipe. Okay, now what we have here is about a cup and a half to 2 cups of real nice tomato pulp, the tomato and leek. We put it in a separate pan, and we're now going to heat that up. We're going to drop 1 bay leaf, a couple of sprigs of parsley, and in a little while we'll add some half and half, some pepper, and right now I'm going to also add some chicken broth to that, and we're going to cook that just a little bit on top of the stove. More on that later.
Well,
there goes the bay
There's
leaf.
an onion.
While we're at it, I'll just go on ahead and open up the chicken broth or stock.
And make it
whatever
scream.
you wish to call it. Here it comes.
Oh, I've never heard of that brand before.
Oh,
Where did you get that? I don't recall ever seeing that in a local grocery emporium. Did you buy that on one of your trips?
no, it was a local, it was just one of those XYZ brands that you occasionally run into, and it was a very good price. I believe it was about 10 or 15 cents less than the
one I love, sweet Sue. I've never heard of that brand
I'm going
before.
to sprinkle a little white pepper into this now at this time. Oh, I forgot to put my little sprig of, there we go, a little white pepper in there, and we're also going to pull off, I have some real nice looking parsley, which I got earlier today. My poor garden is, how's your garden doing, Larry? Couple of sprigs in there. Are you finished?
What?
Did it work out all right?
Well, it's doing...
Now, you don't want to chop this up because... Well, I got a whole lot to do.
Boy, you really get rid of a lot of your frustrations. And it's a good thing, because this is a frustrating experience. Well, hi. Look at you perched back there.
I'm just waiting for the
okay.
noise to clear.
The evening train. For the noise.
You don't want to chop this stuff up because you're going to take that and the bay leaf out in just a little bit after this has had time to boil a little bit, just lightly, simmer on top of the stove. You want to simmer that stuff, by the way, an additional 20 minutes with the parsley and the bay leaf and all that stuff. What say we review
That's
some...
not good enough. I can't do it until we get all the rest of this chopped up, Larry.
Can we review...
No, we got to chop up the rest of this onion. I can't do another thing until it's all chopped up, and then we can do it.
My soup. You're knocking my soup around.
Oh, you and your soup make me tired. Anyway. Okay, now we can review our prices.
Let's review our prices. The cream of tomato soup cup of chicken stock, a tablespoon of butter, or replace it with margarine if you'd like, 2 leeks, whites only, 2 pounds fresh tomatoes, 1 bay leaf, sprigs of parsley. A lot of that stuff you'll have on hand if you have a garden in the summertime. 3/4 cup of light cream, which we're going to add in a couple of minutes, 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley for chopping up and putting on top of it. As a garnish, a ½ teaspoon of salt, a little pepper to taste. It serves 4 at 90 cents each.
All right, you've got to have 2 medium fryers, a cup of buttermilk, some salt if you want it. It's just as good without it. Some pepper, a couple of cloves of garlic, and some oil, preferably non-cholesterol type corn oil or safflower oil. A cup of chopped onion, 2 tablespoons of curry powder, and some almonds if you want those. And, oh, Larry, I'm just crying my eyeballs
Well,
out.
it's awful up here. It's horrible.
These 2 onions were mighty strong.
Move your foot.
Making me cry.
Thank you.
Stepping on this mic cable. Could have jerked his throat out.
Wonder if those Cook sisters are around today.
Oh, I hope so, because I just can't stand it. Oh, it hurts. Oh. I wish I had some eye wash.
Are they? Move your foot. Would you?
What? I can't see.
I don't know whether I can work with this man anymore. He keeps stepping all over my... While I straighten him out, here are the Cook sisters.
Oh, Esther Williams, eat your heart out. I just love water sports,
Yes,
don't you?
I know. I can see you now. She gets out there during the good weather and
With my
dives off
wings.
into the falls.
My
Oh,
water
it's so
wings.
cute. Water wings, yes.
Well, listen,
Made
sis.
out of 25-gallon tin drums.
Listen, sis, I have a little tip for you and all you people out there in TV land.
Oh, good.
If you have smoked meats, don't put them in the freezer because smoked meats lose their flavor at sub-freezing temperatures.
That's right. Eat them right away.
Well, that's it. That's all we got. I tell you, I'm Tootsie Cook,
And I'm Sister Cook.
and we're the Cook Sisters.
Lord, they're a mess.
Love them women. They're all right. Hey, I got to stir in about 3/4 cup of either cream, light cream, or in this case, a little bit of half and half.
Could you use skim milk?
Yes, you could. That's a
could
good
use skim
idea.
milk,
You could
right.
use skim milk if you wanted to.
And if you wanted extra rich, you could use skim milk, condensed milk.
That's right. And if you wanted to go on, so you could just keep on coming up with stuff.
Uh-huh. You
Fortunately.
use non-fat dry milk.
We don't want to do any of that, but
Well, I do, because it's better for you. But anyway, Larry, now these onions need to get golden.
well, while your onions are getting golden, I'm going to take just a couple more sprigs of this parsley hem, and we're going to take a couple of sprigs and chop it all up for a nice little garnish here in a little bit when our soup comes out.
How to garnish.
By the way, I wanted to show everybody something. You know, I was digging around in the attic the other day and came across a photograph of you. You know, people talking
Of
about
me?
how times are so tough these days during the ensuing depression, recession that we're now in. But this is an actual photograph, untouched, unretouched, I should say. Well, it hadn't been touched for a while either, of Laban when back during the real depression days. Things were so bad back then that he had to eat what newspapers he had left over.
Oh, that's terrible.
Real sad. Same joke as last week. But anyway, that's real good.
And you know what?
What?
There's several newspapers around here. No, never mind. Anyway,
Don't get us on the wrong side of the newspapers.
now I'm going to put into these onions that should be getting golden, and they are. They begin to brown up a little bit.
Get golden.
Get golden.
Get golden, baby.
All right, I'm going to put in
Let's get down,
2
get golden.
tablespoons of curry powder.
Oh, make me.
Gag me with a bottle,
Gag
right?
me with a bottle. I want to tell you, I really do believe that, Laban, that you really overdo it a little. Why do you have such a love for curry? Would you tell me that?
In my other life,
I mean, just a little bit goes a long way. Wouldn't you agree?
in my other life,
Yes, there's one. He agrees.
I was one of
Camera number 2, he agrees.
I was one of the
Camera 1 agrees. Camera 3 agrees. Well, consensus here on the staff that you put too much of that stuff in there.
I was a third cousin twice removed to Gandhi in my other life. And that's why All right, now.
Weren't you in the movies recently?
Yeah, you might have seen me. All right, now I'm going to put in the chicken and let it brown up.
Hey, this tomato stuff has come along pretty good. I'm right pleased. I got a lot more pulp, a lot more pup this time than I did the last.
Yeah, the last time you made it wasn't too good. Here we are. Now, there we go. And once you do that, you have to put all of the remaining buttermilk and the spices down into the pan with that. You're going to brown your chicken first. And after you browned your chicken, you're going to then add all the other spices. I went ahead and did it first because we're in a hurry.
Ooh, it smells like onions and curry
Oh,
up
it's
here.
real good.
It's just reeking with it.
It's delicious, Blair.
It's
And then
reeking
after
with
your
it.
chicken is browned on both sides and you've added the rest of the buttermilk, then you're going to let it cook over low heat for about an hour until it's thoroughly done. And you know you're going to like this. Hey, Blair.
It is good, I'll have to admit.
The
but I don't
mail
think it
train came through here earlier.
The what?
The mail train.
Nail train.
Mail
Mail
train. I do have a
train.
cold.
Oh.
And I think we got some mail. And oh, there she
nail
goes.
train came through. Grab her, quick.
Okay. Oh.
Well, look, she's got a tack in her hand.
They are so rough around
I
here.
know they I know they are. They really are. This
Tack
just
her.
put my eye out with this broom.
Tack at her head. And anyway, well, dear Laban and Larry, how are you two wonderful guys doing? We are doing so well here in Louisville, Kentucky. We hope to go to the horse race later on this year. Won't it be fun? Ha ha. I guess it will be. They said, funny, last week we had a strange feeling that came to our house. It was like a ghostly spirit that come through the door. It was as if we have seen this very show already one time. What is going on? Are you two into mediums and seances?
Well, we're into mediums.
Oh,
all right.
yes,
Yes, indeed.
that's
We're
right.
media personalities.
Absolutely.
Medium personalities.
And they
Some
said,
people would
by
say
the
mediocre
way,
personalities.
we have been real worried about the world situation. Do you have any recipes that are the favorite of that new guy over in the Soviet Union?
Who's that? Andropov?
Uh-huh. And this is signed by Reva Ridge Rosebud from Louisville, Kentucky. Well, thank you, Reva Ridge.
Well,
And
it just so happens that next week
do.
is going to be the Yuri
Schmidt.
Schmidt show.
Right.
And it's going to be our Russian
and German show.
and German show.
Right here on,
That's right.
on the cheap show.
Now, listen, we have simmered this for some 20-some minutes. My, how time flies.
When you're having a good time.
And now we're going to take a little slotted spoon in here. We're going to remove the bay leaf.
Now, wait a minute.
The bay
Now,
leaf.
wait a minute. That spoon has never done anything. That is not a slutty spoon.
I said slotted,
Oh,
not slutty.
slotted. Oh, I'm sorry.
We're going to take all that stuff out of there, your bay leaf and your parsley. And now what we're going to do is we're going to... There's a witch flying around here. Now what we're going to do at this point is we don't have anything to dip it with, boys and girls, because the Big Dipper is gone. So we're going to... Now this makes a real pretty soup, and as soon as you get it poured... Like I just did, take a little bit of garnish, not a lot, just a little bit, and put on each one. And as you see, it's a real... It's something amusing in the
Yes,
oven.
I had the wrong oven on it. It never got hot.
I'll swear. Well, at least the soup's going to be hot, boys and girls. Yes, it is. The soup is going to be hot. I'm telling you, this is going to be a good meal. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Well, let me serve you. This is all cooked.
I
anyway.
hate cold chicken. I cannot stand cold chicken.
Well, you're going to love it today.
No, I'm only kidding.
Let me give you some of this delicious sauce here.
Hey, now, I think you're going to like that.
I hope so.
Of course, I never know about him. I got a lot more pulp in it this week than I did the last time
It's a
around.
very delicate flavor.
It is very nice and delicate. Let me try some of this.
Oh, it's delicious. It's sort of like lemon fresh joy. They have to eat my bowl very well.
You know, that was really good. If there's anything that this cold,
well.
with all of this stuff that you threw on here, would be okay if it were hot, but cold, it's just really the pits. Curry sauce, curry, whatever it is.
Parsley.
Better eat the soup.
Parsley.
Better eat the soup.
Well, I'm not supposed to eat. It's got all the heavy cream in it.
That's the only thing that's worth eating here
I
today.
guess I'll go back and eat this cold chicken.
Well,
Take an old cold
chicken and
wait. Well, listen, we've had a swell time being here in your home today.
up until a few minutes ago. Yeah.
When we discovered the wrong oven was on, but I mean, that could happen to anybody. It's happened to you, hadn't it? Sure it has.
Sorry, Howard. That
So
was
we'll-
everybody. That was the worst.
We'll be back next week with our continental show featuring recipes of Russia
The Yuri
and
Schmidt Show.
Germany cooked so that you won't die of it. Bye for now.
Bye. Partial production funding for Cookin' Cheap provided by Valleydale Packers Incorporated.